It is that time again, time for our Friday Hot Topics, when we get some candid thoughts on some of the week's most controversial issues from a diverse group of guests. Our top story today, we're going to take a look at the DNA testing regarding the Cape Cod murders. 3 months ago, investigators began collecting DNA evidence from just about everybody they could find, walking in and out of coffee shops, in and out of schools in Truro on Cape Cod. A renewed effort to solve the 2002 murder of a murdered single mother. The ACLU was outraged at the invasion of privacy, but today we're learning that it just may have helped to lead to the resolution of this case. So was it worth it? That's the first thing we're going to tackle. We're talking with actor Vince Curatola of The Sopranos and criminal defense attorney Courtney Anderson and syndicated radio talk show host Paul McGuire. Courtney, let me throw the first question to you. What do you think about that method? Is it okay to just sort of throw the net that wide and say we want every man's DNA in town?
Well, it's a very emotional issue. All of us who think about what if I was a victim of crime obviously feel we want the police to do everything to help ourselves or a loved one. So from that perspective, we think, well, we need the police to get out there, be aggressive, and solve crimes. On the other hand, do the ends justify the means? Where's the line that we're going to demand as a society for the state, the government, to be accountable for this DNA collection? And what are they going to do with all the DNA that they're collecting?
Well, that's a good question. Paul McGuire, what are they going to do with it all? It took them 2 years, or at least a year by different accounts, for them to even get the results from this guy's DNA test. So, raises the question, what are they doing, getting everybody else's when they can barely get it tested?
Well, I very much support the police getting DNA samples of felons, people convicted of rape and murder, et cetera, et cetera. But you're right, there has to be some safeguards. I don't think ordinary males or females should be subject to DNA tests. That's police state talk.
All right, another crime issue that's been very hot this week and of great concern are these 2 missing girls, one in California, one in Florida, which raises the question, why are there so many sexual offenders out there crossing state lines, going from one place to another? Vince Curatola, I'm sure that on The Sopranos they would have one way of dealing with these guys.
Maybe 3 or 4 ways.
Or maybe 3 or 4 ways, but unfortunately the rest of us are, trying to abide by the laws and live in a world where there could be somebody living right next door to you that is a sexual offender and you don't know it.
Well, I think the law should be changed. I mean, I'd want to know where the danger was. If you had an infestation of rats in a new house you were buying, you'd want to know where they were, and you want to take care of them, get rid of them. I mean, my whole thing is, what about people who are innocent, who go about their day to go to work, to go to school? Where are they protected? At what point do we cross the line where we say, well, we can't offend him. He went to jail, he paid his bit to society. Maybe he did 20 years, but maybe his personality didn't change. Maybe his nature didn't change. He's that same criminal. He's learned how to hide it. And I'd like to know if he's living next door, because that's when I'm going to put the for sale sign on the house. So I'm all for gathering all kinds of information.
And Courtney, it seems like, you could get some handle on where he lives, but we're not getting a very good handle on whether or not he's moved to a different state. Should we be putting some kind of global tracking system on these people, even if it's hidden and not not accessible to people that he might be working with? Or
once again, we need to be very, very cautious about going down those paths of putting global positioning or other things I've read about where you can implant computer chips under people's skin. And there are ways, certainly, where we could have a 100% safe society. We could. Totalitarian countries and situations where people have very few individual rights have very few crime. It's absolutely true. So the question is, how do we balance these two things? And unfortunately, as a criminal defense attorney, I had clients who were sexual offenders. I had clients who were on those registered databases and were angry about it. But on the other hand, as I explained to them, if the state government has enacted it and it's not found unconstitutional, then you're going to have to deal with this. And you're just going to have to get out there and stay out of trouble and be a law-abiding citizen.
Paul McGuire, I'm going to make the leap from that over to the judges issue, because there's been a lot of controversy over how we should go about approving judges. Bill Frist may be in a situation where he might have to go ahead with this nuclear option and try to end the filibuster process. Is that the way to go, do you think?
Absolutely, because the Democratic Party is anti-people of religious faith. They've blocked 10 of Bush's nominees, and the Democratic Party has waged war on people of faith. We have to draw a line in the sand.
What do you think, Vince Curatola? I mean, do you want to negate the possibility for conservatives to be able to have that filibuster rule, or should we change it at all?
No, it's funny because I go through the same thing on a micro scale. I think we all do in our daily lives, the people around us and people that we deal with. And I feel that Yeah, I feel there is an attack, actually. Really, I think if we go back to a lot of fundamental stuff that I'm sure a lot of us grew up with, we had a simpler time, we had an easier time. I'm not for blocking and categorizing because someone's a Republican, someone's a Democrat. I just think that it's a matter of, you know, you put two guys in a ring and you expect them to fight.
Right.
What are we fighting about? Why don't we just individually pick the people that we feel are most, not most sympathetic to maybe our politics or our reasoning, but that the quality is there, the intelligence. I really don't care, Democrat, Republican. If you have a brain and you're good and you don't have an agenda, I'm for you.
And if we let him go to an up or down vote, at least then all of the representatives that everyone in this country votes for will have a chance to vote yes or no.
Why not? It's free
on
country.
that judge.
Yeah.
All right, very interesting. Courtney Anderson, thank you. Vince Curtola, Paul McGuire, thank you very much to all of you.